ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We come on the air tonight with breaking news coming into ABC News just moments ago. U.S. officials now telling ABC News that Iran has fired ballistic missiles from inside Iran at U.S. military facilities inside Iraq. Specifically, the U.S. military base in western Iraq. There's no information about casualties. Of course, those U.S. military bases targets in Iraq. That is where President Trump ordered to carry out that deadly strike on Iran's top commander. I want to bring in our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, following this breaking news. He's live in Iraq for us tonight. And Ian, you were telling us that you actually heard something not long ago.
Yeah, that's right. This was about 5:45 Eastern time, local time. It was much later in the evening. We heard two distinct explosions in the vicinity of Erbil in northern Iraq. But as you say, we're getting those reports that there have been multiple strikes on a base in western Iraq. Now, the main base in that part of the country is the Ain Assad base. It's home to a large number of U.S. troops as well as Iraqi troops. The IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Command, has also announced through Iranian state TV that it has conducted an operation. That news still coming in right now.
And of course, Ian, that particular military facility on heightened alert, as we knew that Iran was threatening retaliation, and Iran had indicated that perhaps these retaliatory strikes would occur at U.S. military facilities.
Yes, that's right. And we've also seen a repositioning of U.S. forces. For example, Al-Balad base, which is north of Baghdad, south of here. We heard earlier this evening that a number of U.S. troops had relocated away from that base. So there has been a large-scale repositioning of U.S. forces. They've been settling in, trying to defend themselves. But this shows that the threats that have been coming from Iran, if these reports turn out to be accurate, and that certainly seems to be the case right now, it shows that Iran was true to its word. The question now is, how will the U.S. retaliate to what will be seen as a major provocation by Iran?
Of course, for those of you joining us right now, Ian, thank you. We'll come back to you just as soon as you know more. For those of you joining us for World News Tonight, at this hour, we have just learned U.S. officials telling ABC News that Iran has kept its promise to retaliate after that deadly drone strike on Iran's top commander, saying that Iran has fired ballistic missiles from inside Iran into Iraq, into U.S. military facilities, particularly that U.S. military base in western Iraq. We do not know if there was, in fact, more than one target. This information coming in just as we were coming on the air tonight. I do want to bring in our chief global affairs correspondent, Martha Raddatz. She is live in Tehran tonight because, Martha, you conducted an interview with Iran's foreign minister just today who said the U.S. will pay for its act of war.
He certainly did. Javid Zarif told me just hours ago that they would take action against the United States. He said Iran is very patient. We will do it at a time and place of our choosing. So this has been very rapid if this does indeed turn out to be true. He said he would hit targets, U.S. targets, where it hurt the most. I asked him what he meant about by that. He said they would not hit civilian targets. I said, does that mean you will hit military targets? He said, that's what the military wants to do, but we will determine that at a future date. But again, here in Tehran, they are confirming that missiles were launched, the IRGC. I also asked him about the threat of an all-out war. He said that is up to the United States and how they respond to any retaliatory attack from Iran. David?
Again, Martha Raddatz, who's live in Tehran for us tonight. Martha interviewing the foreign minister of Iran earlier today. You heard Martha report there. She asked if the Iranian regime was at all concerned about an all-out war, and the foreign minister telling Martha that that would depend on how the U.S. Responds to any retaliation from Iran, which now we know, as we're on the air tonight, has in fact happened. Images right now of President Trump earlier today. He forcefully defended his order to carry out that strike, saying the Iranian general was planning, quote, a very big attack, and that the deadly strike, quote, saved a lot of lives. But the president did not reveal any evidence about that imminent attack that he and the administration have pointed to as justification for the strike. And as more U.S. troops land in the Middle East tonight, President Trump saying the U.S. will stay in Iraq after the Iraqi parliament voted to force out the U.S. and after a letter from the U.S. military was sent